What is going on, college basketball fans? Today we're going to be talking some Purdue basketball and the amazing season that they're having and why I think they are building something great, not just for this season and this year's March Madness, but also for the future as well. I'm ready to get right into it. I just want to say subscribe if you guys are new. We do a ton of college basketball content here on the channel all the way throughout the season and throughout the offseason as well. So hit that sub button, hit that like button, and yeah guys, let's get started. Alright, I want to start off this video by saying that Purdue was supposed to be rebuilding this year, and technically this is their rebuilding year. They lost two pro basketball players in Jaden Ivey and also Travion Williams, two guys that were amazing college basketball players, and they come back with not a single senior really in their rotation, not in the starting five, and two freshman guards, and are 11-0 to start the season. I mean, I see Purdue fans all over Twitter, all over the place saying we were supposed to be rebuilding and now we are the #1 ranked team in the country. And I want to talk about this undefeated start here for Purdue, because not only are they undefeated, but they have some really good quad one wins by double digits. They won the Phil Knight Invitational Tournament. They beat West Virginia by double digits, a team that is looking really good and just on the outside of the top 25. They beat Gonzaga by double digits, a team that just beat Alabama and put up 100 on them, and a team that's really looking up, and a consistent Gonzaga team that is always a top seed in the tournament. And they defeated Duke, maybe the best dynasty in college basketball, one of the most historic programs in college basketball, who has a lot of really good young talent there on that team. Beat them by double digits, all back to back to back, and they are really setting themselves up to be 13-0 heading into conference play. They got two more games, but two very, very easy ones. They should be undefeated heading into Big Ten play. And I want to talk about how good this team is, because not only are they undefeated, not only do they not really have any seniors that play for their team, so they're still super young, but they can still improve, not just for the future, but also before March Madness. Because these players are so young, I could see them getting some improvement before the March Madness tournament and really helping this team make a run. So let's break down that team. So at the guard, we have Fletcher, Loyer, and he is a freshman who averages 13 points and 3 assists per game, but he only shoots 37% from the field and 31% from behind the three-point arc, so he can definitely improve his shooting as well. Like I said, he's still super young. He's a freshman. He has a lot of potential. He can improve the shooting. That could help this team a ton. But also, the other freshman guard, Braden Smith, he's averaging 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists, and 5 rebounds for a 6-foot-tall guard is very, very impressive, especially a freshman, but he's only shooting 41% from the field. He can improve his shooting as well, and that could go a long way for this Purdue team. And at the small forward position, you got Ethan Morton, who only averages 4, 2, and 3, but he has shown signs that he could be a really good shooter for this team as well, and he's a kind of do-it-all guy. He's a scrappy defender. I like this guy a lot, and he's coming in at 6'7", and he can handle the ball as well. Very important piece to this year's team. And also, at the power forward position, you have sophomore Caleb Furst, only averaging 7 and 5, but he took over the starting position not too long into the season for this Purdue team, and he has a ton of potential as well. I really like this squad, and of course, at center, you have the big man, the leader to win AP Player of the Year this season is Zach Edey. He's averaging 22 points a game, 14 rebounds a game, and shooting 62% from the field, and he can also shoot free throws as well. It is north of 70% shooting from the free throw line, and that is huge because at 7'4", Zach Edey gets fouled a lot. And Purdue played against my team, West Virginia. We tried to play physical against him, but he was automatic from the free throw line. You cannot hack a Shaq this beast. But that is not all, because there are 3 key bench players for Purdue that I think have potential to really help this team go far. And the most important piece off this bench, in my personal opinion, from watching Purdue this season, is Mason Gilis. Mason Gilis is kind of an energy guy. He's a good defender, but he can also give you some scoring as well. He's only a junior. Then you got Brandon Newman, who is a really good scorer off the bench for this team. He's probably the highest scorer for this team coming off of the bench. I really like his game. And then you have Trey Kaufman-Renn, who is a freshman guard, another freshman guard for this team, who is, he doesn't get as much minutes as the other two, but I think that he can improve throughout the season and get more minutes throughout the season and really help this team down the stretch. Those are the three key bench players that I think could have a really important role on this team down the stretch of the season. And next up, I want to talk about Purdue's head coach, Matt Painter, because I believe Matt Painter is one of the most underrated coaches in college basketball. His record with Purdue is 587 and 395. He's only had a couple of losing seasons there at Purdue. He's been coaching there since the 05-06 season, and super underrated. I think that he is building something really good here at Purdue, and I would almost consider Purdue starting to position themselves into being a new blood type team. I think a lot more players are going to see this year's Purdue team, see how young they are, see how good of a coach Matt Painter really is, and they're going to want to come play for him. And I could definitely consider them getting into that new blood conversation, and they're on that tier with like Arkansas there with Eric Musselman, who I believe at Arkansas they're building something really great, and also Houston with Kelvin Sampson. I believe those three teams with those three head coaches could all potentially be future dynasty type teams, and I'm pretty high on their potential in the future that one of those three teams will be able to win a national championship with their team within the next 5 or 6 years, somewhere in that range. I think that all three of those teams are on the come up and are going to have, at the very minimum, a ton of success in the March Madness tournament and in the regular seasons. Even if none of them don't end up winning a national championship, a lot of tournament success for these three teams in the very, very near future. I mean, starting with this season, really. But that's going to do it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about Purdue's team this year. I mean, they were supposed to have a rebuilding year. They don't have a single senior starting on this team, or really in the 8-man rotation that I was talking about. And they only have 2 juniors that start on this team as well, one of those including Zach Edey. So it's crazy. They were supposed to have a rebuilding year after losing Jaden Ivey, after losing Travion Williams, 2 star players for this team, and now they are the #1 team in the country back-to-back weeks. Very, very impressive start, and that just goes to show you. I know that they have the Yao Ming of college basketball on their team, but that really does show you how good of a coach Matt Painter really is. Super underrated. I hope that he gets a lot of appreciation this year, and I'm excited to see Purdue head into Big Ten play and see how far this team can go in March Madness. Let me know down below. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching.